Story begins with a special FBI agent named John who has arrived at a museum in Rome. John had received information that a famous thief, Nolan Booth, planned to steal the museum's priceless golden egg. John repeatedly tried to warn the museum director, but the director refused to listen, fully trusting the museum's security. However, John continued his investigation and made a shocking discovery. While inspecting the egg, John realized it was a fake. The real egg had already been stolen. To confirm his suspicion, John poured soda on the egg. Suddenly, alarms went off in the museum, and people started running in panic. Nolan was also present there. Upon seeing him, John began chasing him, but Nolan used his incredible parkour skills to evade all the guards. John relentlessly pursued Nolan and managed to catch him briefly, but Nolan was too clever. He misled John and escaped by making a risky jump into a pipe, sliding away to safety. Undeterred, John entered a nearby marketplace and pursued Nolan through the historic streets of Rome. Despite John's best efforts, Nolan skillfully escaped. About 56 hours later, Nolan was celebrating his victory with a glass of wine in one hand and the stolen egg in the other, thinking he was the world's most cunning thief. However, his joy was short-lived because John, along with his entire team, was already waiting at Nolan's hideout. With no escape left, John arrested Nolan. Nolan was baffled as to how John found him. John explained that a thief named Bishop had betrayed Nolan's location. Bishop was the world's most wanted thief, and Nolan was second, always trying to take Bishop's place. The stolen egg was secured under Interpol's custody, but during the operation, a twist occurred. An undercover agent swapped the real egg with the fake one. That agent was none other than Bishop herself. The next day, things worsened for John. He was accused of helping the thieves after evidence was found against him, including a Swiss bank account with $8 million deposited in his name. John's hard-earned reputation was ruined. He was arrested and sent to a maximum security prison in the icy mountains of Russia, where his cellmate was none other than Nolan. With no other choice, the two had to join forces. In the cold Russian prison, Nolan slowly understood the situation. They were both pawns in a bigger game controlled by Bishop, the mastermind thief who had never been caught. Nolan explained that the stolen egg was only part of a huge prize. An Egyptian billionaire promised $300 million to anyone who could bring him all 3 golden eggs before his daughter's wedding. 2 eggs were already found. The third was still a secret. Nolan had been searching for the eggs, but John's arrival spoiled his plan. Now it was clear that Bishop was also after the eggs. She trapped them so neither could steal or locate the eggs. During their conversation, guards took them to the prison warden, where to their shock, Bishop was waiting dressed as a prison officer. She made an offer to Nolan. She already had 1 egg and planned to steal the second. If Nolan helped her find the third, she would give him 10% of the reward. Nolan mocked her offer and refused. Bishop smiled and left, saying she would always be 2 steps ahead of them. John was furious with Nolan for ruining their chance to escape, but suggested they'd have a better chance if they worked together. Nolan hesitated at first, but agreed, hoping that if Bishop was caught and he escaped, he would become the world's most wanted thief. They started planning their prison break. The first part of their plan unfolded in the dining hall, where Nolan shouted that John was an undercover FBI agent. A dangerous inmate became furious and attacked John, causing chaos throughout the prison. Guards rushed in to control the situation, dragging Nolan and John outside. Nolan revealed that he had stolen a keycard during the fight. In a conversation later, Nolan revealed his father was a policeman who never appreciated him, and Nolan turned to crime to get attention. This deepened their bond, and they began working on the next phase, making a temporary bomb using soap and nitric acid. Their calculated explosion created enough commotion for them to loosen a stone in the prison wall and make their way out. Climbing the high walls, they faced many challenges, including Nolan slipping on icy rocks, but John saved him just in time. They reached a helicopter landing pad where a guard was distracted, unaware of their approach. John knocked him out, and Nolan climbed into the helicopter. John fought off guards chasing them, but a rocket launcher fired at the bridge where John stood. John narrowly escaped the blast that shook the helicopter. Nolan flew the helicopter solo, but refused to abandon John. Using the minigun on the chopper, Nolan suppressed their pursuers until John jumped on board. A missile approached, but John cleverly opened another door, allowing the missile to pass through and crash into a mountain instead. They escaped just in time. Bishop was watching the whole chaos calmly from London, sending a secret message to Interpol reporting that John and Nolan had escaped. She smiled, plotting her next move. Nolan and John met Nolan's old friend Tambu, who brought a plane and intel about the location of the second egg with a notorious arms smuggler in Spain. The smuggler's home was heavily guarded like a fortress. To steal the egg from a titanium vault, they created a deepfake video and planned to hack the dealer's phone during a party hosted by the arms dealer. John attended the party as a rich guest, while Nolan was disguised as a waiter. They noticed Bishop at the party. During a speech by the arms dealer, John seized the opportunity to steal the dealer's phone, unaware that Interpol agent Das was also secretly observing. Nolan spilled wine on John as a distraction. They excused themselves to the washroom, hacked the phone, and got the vault's password. The vault opened thanks to their deepfake trick. Inside, they found the second golden egg. Suddenly, alarms blared, and Agent Das aimed a gun at them. John managed to shut the vault door quickly for some breathing room. Bishop emerged from the darkness inside the vault, revealing she was already there. A fierce fight broke out between Bishop and the duo. Despite their combined efforts, Bishop's agility overwhelmed them. Then the arms dealer entered, revealing he was allied with Bishop. Nolan and John were captured. They woke up tied in the arms dealer's basement, where the dealer questioned them about the third egg. Nolan lied, saying it was hidden somewhere in Egypt. Meanwhile, Bishop poisoned the dealer's champagne with a sedative. As the dealer collapsed, she took the second egg and left John and Nolan tied up. The dealer regained consciousness and angrily fired shots at them, but one bullet cut their ropes. They escaped quietly but ended up in a bullfighting ring where a furious bull charged them. Nolan distracted the crowd with his matador-like moves while John narrowly escaped. They vanished into the winding streets. That night, John confided in Nolan about his past. His father was a famous thief who abandoned him, leading John to join the police to hate people like his father. Nolan listened empathetically and shared a secret. He knew where the third egg was. After World War II, a German officer escaped to Argentina with a suitcase containing treasure and a watch. The egg's location was encoded in the watch. Nolan's father, an expert treasure hunter, had tracked the clues to an old Nazi bunker hidden deep in Argentina's jungle. After years of piecing together the story, Nolan finally found the last clue. Now John and Nolan journeyed through thick forests and dangerous swamps to reach the bunker. Inside, the lights flickered on, revealing the lost treasure and the third Cleopatra egg. Their happiness was short-lived, as Bishop suddenly appeared, followed by Agent Das and an elite SWAT team. The small bunker turned into a battlefield. Amidst the chaos, John, Nolan, and Bishop jumped into an old car and sped away. The road abruptly ended with a steep waterfall, and the car plunged into the river below. Nolan surfaced with the egg but noticed John was missing. Without hesitation, Nolan dropped the egg and dove back to find John. However, John had already surfaced. The shocking truth emerged. John was deceiving everyone. He and Bishop were actually partners, not enemies, but lovers, working together. The entire act was a con to trick Nolan into revealing the egg's location. They left Nolan tied to a tree, watching helplessly as they vanished into the jungle. Meanwhile, in Egypt, the billionaire was hosting a grand wedding celebration, preparing to display all three eggs. Suddenly, Agent Das and Interpol raided the event, taking control amid chaos. They confiscated the eggs and arrested the billionaire along with his gang and even the bride. From a hidden spot, John and Bishop watched everything silently, smiling faintly before slipping away, satisfied with their $300 million prize. About 6 months later, in the calm seas of Italy, John and Bishop were enjoying luxury on a yacht when Nolan unexpectedly appeared. Smiling, Nolan revealed he had traced all their accounts holding the money and handed over the details to Interpol, freezing their funds. John and Bishop were shocked to lose everything. Nolan laughed, saying, "I got the thieves this time." Nolan had a new, bold heist idea requiring their help. John refused immediately, but Bishop realized they had no option but to join him. Now, where this daring robbery leads will unfold in the next film, which is yet to be released.